the round table sessions. The table is round.
Amen.
I am back after 2 weeks hiatus. Not that you have noticed.
Hiatus.
Macmillan smashed it, but it's good to be back with you guys. How you doing?
We're doing good, man. Nice to see you there.
Well, thank you very much.
I like the hood. I love the colours going on.
Colour coordination is
I know,
amazing.
the colour scheme is cool.
Killing it.
Matching. I think we're matching. Great stuff. Anyway, I am your host. My name is Daniel, and I am part of the indie pop band called Brightline, based here in Manchester. I got my guests, which have been my guests for a long time.
Nice.
Let's go to around the table. To the left, we have the wonderful Clay. Clay, tell us what you do and who are you?
So I am the bassist in Amongst Wolves, a pop rock band. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I do.
Great.
That is what you do.
I'm
And you
going to
do
ask
it
the
very
same
well.
question. You do it very well. I'm going to ask the same question that I ask every single week. Are you the best musician in your band?
Yes, you are.
Yes, she is. She is.
No, I'm not.
All right.
By far.
Do you have, compared to the other musicians, do they have official grading in instruments
Yeah,
or in music knowledge?
Dan has.
Does he?
Yeah,
What?
I think he's grade 8 in like trumpet or something. Something like that.
Didn't know that. Why is he busting it out? In the,
Never busting out.
Well, ask him.
Okay.
So clearly I'm not.
Okay. How many grades do you have?
I'm grade 8
And what?
in piano.
What about bass?
No.
Okay, great. That's good. Let's get you. Hi, bro.
Hey, buddy.
Talk to me. Who are you?
I'm Jacob.
Nice.
I'm in the same band as you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I play guitar and bass and do a little bit of a little bit of singing. That's not singing. I don't know why I did
That was
that.
like a trumpet or something. That was like a...
Grade 8.
Oh yeah, I was trying to be like Dan and join in with the trumpet fun. And yep, that's me.
Great, great. And then to my right, we have. Let's start with you.
Woo! My name is Gina and I am the singer in OTC. That is who I am.
Very exciting.
And I'm your girl. My name is Sammy. I'm from Soulbox. I am a singer in Soulbox. There's two of us. I'm a singer in Soulbox.
Would you say you're the best singer?
I would not say that I'm the best singer in Soulbox.
It
no.
wouldn't. It's funny because when I've asked the other members of Soulbox if they are the best at what they do within the band, they say yes.
Oh, fair. Good for them. Well done, guys.
Anyway,
Best female singer. I'll say that.
best female.
I'm the only female singer.
Hey.
Anyway, it's good to have you guys back. And news. I want to know if you guys have seen any news this past week. Obviously, the biggest news, which we're going to kind of delve into, starts tomorrow, which is kind of a big change, which...
I don't know what's happening.
You'll find out in a second. But have you seen anything in the past week that have been like, wow, that's funny, that's interesting, kind of rocked your world a little bit?
Oh, I'm gonna go because mine isn't as good as everybody else's.
Go on.
What you got?
I can feel it. I can feel. I always have like the one that's not funny, so I'll start. Right, okay. So this is sad, a little bit sad. But do you like everyone's been going like pumpkin pick? What do you call it?
Pumpkin picking at a pumpkin
What
patch.
do you do? Pumpkin carving.
Carving.
Carving is a thing.
Yeah. So basically, a deer got stuck in a pumpkin. Its head stuck in a pumpkin. And they were like trying to help the deer out because it was just like panicking. So then they had to like put it in a net simply for helping it. So they kind of like had to kind of trap it in a net so it stays still for them to get the pumpkin off.
That's really sad.
But bless it, it's just like freaking out like what's happening because it doesn't know that they're trying to help it. So then when they finally got it off, it just dashed out.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh
dear.
Wow.
dear, the dear.
But it's free now. It's free
now.
and safe, yeah.
Did they eat the pumpkin afterwards?
I don't think so.
Would you have eaten the
I would not have eaten the pumpkin
I
afterwards.
like pumpkin?
I've never really had pumpkin.
You know what? Jacob's wife does a mean pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
So good.
It's a thing. It's a thing apparently. Didn't know it was a thing.
Pumpkin pie.
Is that an American thing? Like, is it part of
Although it stemmed
Thanksgiving?
from Ireland.
Pumpkin pies.
Pumpkin pie.
Very interesting.
Pumpkin pie.
Irish.
That's me anyway. I'll put that out there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for that piece of news. Gina.
So, my bit of news is all about music releases. Ariana Grande actually has brought out a whole load of music, guys. But do you know who else has brought out music this
Okay.
week?
Who?
Who else?
Ooh.
OTC.
Oh, no way.
Yes,
We hadn't
we
noticed.
brought out a new track this week. It's called I Win. You can go stream it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my big bit of exciting news for the week.
You know what? I have
I win.
listened to both projects. I've listened to the
Okay,
Grande one.
Did you listen to the whole album?
I listened to 2/3
It's interesting.
as I was driving, and my wife said, "I'm pretty bored. Can you put something else on?
You put I win on.
So I put I win on.
Woo!
I win. I win.
She's reinvented herself well from like, I feel like this happens with like, from like kids that have, celebrities that grow up from Nickelodeon or Disney. I feel like there's this tension to prove I am a woman, I'm grown now, and I think the content just was too far the other side for me, the album. I listened to like one song and I was like, oh, come on. Like, it was just too much. I just had to take it off, personally. She's got a great voice though. Her song with The Weeknd on that project is probably the only one that I liked. I only listened to like 4 songs.
Cool. Interesting. There you go. But make sure you listen to I Win by OTC. Spotify, Apple Music,
Show can.
all those different places, YouTube. You see a live performance as well, which is amazing. So great job,
Yes.
guys. It's a really catchy song. And you guys were played on BBC Radio.
Yeah, we were. It was sick. BBC Manny, which is amazing. We submitted
cool,
it to
man.
BBC
Well done, mate.
Introducing. Thank you. It's
Awesome,
cool.
awesome. What about you guys? Any pieces of news, anything that you've seen that you're like, yo, this
So
is
this
funny?
this blew my mind, right?
Really?
It blew my mind. You know Jaffa cakes?
Yeah.
I am aware of. So
They're famously called, well, they're called Jaffa cakes. I'm gonna say they're famously called Jaffa cakes. It's being confirmed, you know, are they a biscuit, are they a cake? Because
Yeah.
they're definitely shaped like a biscuit, but look like a cake. So the 2 pieces of news is Jaffa cakes are a fit, they are cakes. They're
I
not,
mean,
Really?
fair,
that
fair.
makes sense because
but the right way to eat it is with the chocolate on the bottom.
That's weird.
That's the bottom of the Jaffa cake.
That doesn't look
No.
right. Like,
That is the bottom of the Jaffa cake. The chocolate is on the
To be
bottom.
fair, it kind of looks like a really squished cupcake when you do that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the
I
can see that.
sponge of
oh
the
no, I
on
can
the
understand
bottom.
that.
I know. I don't get it.
I don't
but
get it.
that's
I don't
that's
like
the correct
that.
way. The official.
Clarissa's face is the best
Jaffa
way.
I would
Can we
say
see that?
yes. Jaffa cakes are definitely cakes because cakes when they're stale go harder, and biscuits when they're stale go soft.
Oh wow.
That's the.
Is that actually
You've done a
how it
full
is?
science experiment.
Mate, you've
Is that
never
how
had
you
this discussion in
say?
school.
No.
No.
Well,
Was
Portugal.
this in Portugal?
No Jaffa cakes in Portugal.
don't.
No way.
But that's what it is. So I've always thought it was a cake because it goes hard
There you go.
That's nice.
when it's stale.
Oh, fair.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
That's
Jacob.
the news. All right, Clay.
I have another biscuit-related piece of news.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that side of the
Jaffa
table
cakes
loves
are actually biscuits.
Jacob. Who's wrong?
You know the classic digestive biscuit
Love them.
Okay.
Yeah, love a good
with or without
digi.
chocolate.
without chocolate.
Okay, without chocolate.
So, apparently, McVitie's invented the digestive biscuit to stop people from farting.
Get out of it.
I need that.
Get out of it.
Oh, I should do
I'll buy
So
it
that's
back.
all I need to do. Just have some digestives.
How does
Apparently.
it work? I want to know
I'm
that.
gonna try that.
Maybe because it's
Really?
so stodgy it clogs you up.
Maybe that doesn't sound good either.
Digestion, isn't it?
Is this like an official thing, or do you see this on Lad Bible?
I like that.
So it's all-
Oh, was that on Lad Bible? That's hilarious. What are the odds? That's brilliant. I enjoyed that.
Wait, is that not where you get all your news?
That is
I mean, it's a credible source.
I get mine from White
They're usually
Wikipedia.
right.
So
You get
that's
yours
funny.
from the sun.
I get mine from the sun. Well, interesting enough, I have the sun open. I don't. But anyway, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I want to read this because it's quite funny. This is the headline: Whale sculpture stops Dutch train crashing into water.
I skimmed over that story. Tell me
So
more.
in Rotterdam,
In where?
Right,
Rotterdam.
Yeah,
Rotterdam. In what-
Rotherham.
Say Rotherham.
Say it with
Sheffield.
me. Rotherham.
Oh, you answered it.
Rotherham.
In Rotterdam, in
Yeah.
what? It's double T. Rotterdam.
Yeah, Rotterdam.
That's how you say it, right?
Rotterdam. Yeah.
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Thank you. In Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, there was this train that overran, this metro train that overran the stop blocks
Right.
station. And as it was going, so it overran, so it crashed, it kept on going. And then in front of the stop blocks were these two plastic not 20 meter, these two plastic whale tails that have been there for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
The train just went and stopped on top of them.
Oh, wow. That's
Spider-Man.
It's
amazing.
like something from Spider-Man, isn't it?
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's really cool.
And I think like,
What if Spider-Man was really there, but then he fled the
From
sea?
Holland.
what if he
That makes
created
sense.
those whale tails?
Spider-Man creative.
Let's not do the conspiracy theory thing again.
I mean, I guess another
We did that backstage. It took too long.
too long. It consumed our time. I think another piece of news that happened in this past week, which is a bit is quite sad. Sean Connery passed away.
Yeah.
The original James Bond passed away, which is crazy. But another piece of sad news, I think, or anyway, it's definitely big news for the UK. Is tomorrow we go into lockdown. Lockdown part 2. Right.
From 12:01 a.m.
Yeah.
in lockdown.
Yeah, we are in official national lockdown. England's in lockdown, which is crazy. And obviously on Saturday, Boris announced it. So my question is, how did you feel and what were you doing when Boris announced that we were going into lockdown?
It was Halloween, wasn't it?
It was Halloween.
It was Halloween. I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I've always wanted to watch the movie Beetlejuice by Tim Burton.
So what I felt.
So we were gonna watch that, but
Isn't Dave in it?
but Dave who?
Dave Bowie.
Dave Bowie? No,
Who was in Beetlejuice?
no, he's in Labyrinth. We watched that on Halloween as well. Anyways,
Dave.
I was like,
Dave in it.
is this your best friend?
Dave who?
Carry on.
Anyways,
Sorry, what were you...
so we were going to watch this movie, but Boris took his sweet time.
man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I never ever watched the news, and my wife was like, "Please, can we turn this off? It's so boring," because it took about 2.5 hours for him
Yeah, it was a
to.
bit.
Yeah, but we didn't end up watching the movie either. So thanks.
Oh, mate.
And how did you feel, bro?
I think slightly anxious and slightly nervous, just obviously not knowing, like, you know, with work, like, what does that mean? Like, are we going to be stuck at home? Are we going to come in? Like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's suddenly like your whole world just gets flipped upside down and you're just thinking like, oh, what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. What about you guys? And what were you doing? How did you feel?
Yeah, I was a bit sad because my friend Jacob, shout out if you're listening, Jacob, actually is in Little Mix Research. You know the talent show that Little Mix are doing to find out. Yeah, and he's like absolutely bossing it. He's done dead well. Like he's in the live shows and all that. So like I was like there, settled in, cup of tea, ready to tune into Little Mix, ready to cheer Jacob on. And then obviously Bozza took over, no Little Mix Research, which was very sad. So that was like my little story behind said announcement.
How did you feel when you officially said it?
Yeah. I think I was just like super frustrated and just like, not again. Like, so much to sort out now. Like, and also it's my birthday, middle of November. So I was like, I don't get to see my mum or my granddad in my birthday. But yeah, just kind of is what it is. Sat down with the girls I live with, had a little chat, and then watched Strictly. Yeah. Sad though, definitely sad.
I want Strictly too.
It's so good. I love Strictly.
Dude, Maisie's killing it.
Nah, it's all about
How's
Harvey.
Clara Anthony doing? I just
She's
know
alright,
because she's
she's
cool. No, she's from Radio 1. She's cool.
She's really cool. I love
She's
her.
cool. So I was asking, that's just.
Jamie Lang's also doing all right as well.
Chelsea.
Yeah, made in Chelsea.
What's up? Anyway,
Sorry for
Caught up on Men in Chelsea.
that was made in Chelsea. It's a mess, mate. It's an absolute mess. I just don't get it. I'm sucked in again. You told me that was going to happen. And what about you? How did you feel when?
I think I was cooking. I was just making some food.
What were you making?
Cooking up a mean dude.
Good question.
Question.
I was going to say, were you making sausages? But that's just because you're German, and then I was going to. That's mean. So.
I wasn't really sorry. Not this time.
Okay.
But no. How did I feel? Honestly, I was kind of relieved in a weird way. I think because obviously we've been seeing in the news that things are just getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
More and more people are dying, and I was just like, something needs to happen. So in a weird way, I'm really relieved. I'm really happy that something is happening.
Yeah.
But it is that whole change again, you know. And I don't think it hit me at first, but I think it hit me a little bit later on, like actually having to process it and be like, oh, okay, there's another change happening again. Like I feel like all year it's just been constant change all the time. So it's definitely something to process, and like being okay with those emotions, you know, and just being like, okay, that's how I feel. That's fine right now. I'm just going to sit with them and just feel all these emotions right now. I think that's really important to do.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really good advice. And we will later on. We'll be actually good to hear any advice or any tips you have for people as they face this new challenge from tomorrow. What about you, Sammy? How did you feel? What were you doing?
I was cooking some Zimbabwean food. Sorry I didn't bring you any, I apologize, you know. But yeah, I was making some food and then like running in between the kitchen and stuff. I'm more like Clay. I kind of felt a little bit relieved because I think something needed to happen just because it was getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I definitely think for the sake of at least people maybe potentially getting some kind of like Christmas as well, something to work towards. I feel like it is actually pretty good for especially like Northerners. I feel like having that possibility of like, oh, do you know what, if we kind of like do our best, like follow these guidelines, maybe, it may not look the same at all, like Christmas won't look the same, but maybe at that point things will get a bit better. And I think, yeah, I'm just processing that could not happen either as well, which is difficult. I'm also processing that it could. I'm very open-minded. I think I'm very all over the show, as you would be, to be fair, but I'm definitely relieved that something is being put in place to hopefully help people.
Totally. I think for me, I was cooking as well. I was
Look at you guys cooking all your meals.
I was cooking a meal for my wife because she's been working hard because she's a teacher. She was doing some work before going back from half term, and I was cooking pasta with mushroom and white sauce.
Ooh, was it good?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Some would say even better than.
You got to bring me around some.
Once everything is cleared up and we can go into people's houses, maybe I'll just cook something and leave it at the door.
Please do. You live literally next door to me, basically.
Less than a meter, less than a minute.
Well, that's against the rules.
Less than a minute to walk to yours. It's very true. And I think it's interesting for us because Emily, who's my wife, she is still going to be going into school and she's still going to be teaching. So I think she's trying to figure out what does that look like for the kids. And because she teaches reception, so she is in essence in a bubble with those kids and with the other teachers. And reception kids have no sense of social distancing until like they literally run and hug her legs and all that kind of stuff. She enjoys it, but I think she's just trying to process that. So then for us, it's like, cool, what does that look like? It looks like that I'm going to be now at home. I'm doing stuff and she's going to be going to work, which is interesting. So I don't know. We still need to figure stuff out. How did that feel? I didn't feel scared, I don't think, or freaked out. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's see what we can do. How can we help people? And I think that's why we wanted to put this particular session on as well, because we want to be able to give something to people to hold on to and kind of zone in. So I got a couple of questions that I kind of want to ask you guys. So we've had lockdown, the first lockdown, and now we got a second one. Now the first one, I feel like it was something totally new, right? You're like, what the heck do we do? Right, and it was a big shock for everybody. Now we're going to a second lockdown. What are the things that you're going to be putting in place to kind of help you, maybe with your mental well-being, to keep you busy, but I don't mean busy in a negative sense of like, oh no, I'm really busy, but just like to keep you active and doing stuff.
For sure.
What are the stuff you reckon you're going to do?
I think one thing over the past few years I've noticed, like, not like to an extreme, but I've noticed like my mood change with like the seasons. So now it's getting like the days are really short. It's like, oh, I need to make the most of the sun, you know? So getting up at like a good time. I mean, I got a puppy. So I have to get up at like 6:30 or 7 to wake up with her. Clay.
Clay's like, that's night time.
So I have to get up at 6:30 or 7, but it means that I get the most of, you know, the light in the day, and that's really been helping me. So I think, you know, even if I'm not coming into like a physical work, I'll still be getting up at a good time to experience all of this. To experience, to seize the day.
Seize the day.
I think that's something that's really helpful.
Oh, great. What about you guys?
I just isolated for 2 weeks, which is crazy because now
my days
I'm
welcome back out of isolation.
Thank you.
Lockdown.
Lockdown again. But something that really helped me and like actually almost made my isolation a little bit like nice actually. Like I actually had quite a good time in isolation because of this. It's kind of just being in the moment, not thinking too far ahead, letting it overwhelm you, what do I want to do right now? How do I feel at the minute? Do I feel tired? Do I feel like, inspired to do something? And just going with it and just kind of being extra aware about how you're feeling and just doing what you want to do in that moment, especially when it's like lockdown and there's not much to do. Because I had moments when I was like, I just want to watch a Christmas film. So I watched a Christmas film with some food, and it was great. But other times I'd feel super inspired and just classic quirky genius, or I'd make a daft video or something like that. It's just kind of doing what you feel like is the right thing to do in that moment and not thinking too far ahead and getting overwhelmed by it. I think that really helped me in these couple of weeks. And I actually had a lot of fun because of it, because all those things that you always want to try and get done, or things that you know help you relax but you never quite get around to, it's a brilliant opportunity to do all that stuff.
That's great.
So yeah, that helped me.
That's really good. What about you, Sammy?
Two things that I found really helpful looking back when me and my housemate were in the first lockdown was, number one, having a routine. So we had like a meal plan the whole way through. Like we knew,
That's cool.
like our essential shops weren't like all over the show. Like we knew the stuff that we were getting and preparing for, but also like reaching out into our community as well. So we knew that there was particularly like one lady on our street who needed like certain things picking up and that was just nice to know to know that you're not just thinking inwardly but like outwardly as well. And I found that was amazing for me personally, because I felt like I was doing what I'm called to do as a Christian, whether I'm in a lockdown or not, is to love God and to love others and be intentional about it. So I found that really cool.
Yeah, that's really good. I think that's something that I want to try and be intentional with as well in this next period of time we're in the second lockdown, where I'm intentionally helping other people. So, and I just moved house as well, so I want to try and get to know the people around me in my neighborhood, in my little street, my little cul-de-sac, to see if they need assistance, if they need me to pop to the shop or buy stuff, which is cool. Okay, so we all followers of Jesus, and we love Jesus, and this is the reason why we do this as well.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you think your faith is going to help you? How do you think your faith in Jesus is going to help you in this next 4 weeks? Well, hopefully it will just be 4 weeks. But during this next period of time, how do you think your faith is going to help you?
For sure. I think a cool thing about God, it's a cool thing about being a Jesus follower. It talks about how when you become a Christian, you get the Holy Spirit. God called Jesus is the helper. It's part of God lives inside of you, and it's. Being a Christian means that you are actually never alone. Do you know what I mean? So in the times where you feel so, like, and I'm sure it will come up, like, every day can't be sunshine and roses, you know what I mean? So the days when we feel so disconnected from, even you guys, like my friends, and so disconnected from everybody around us, that God's still there, you know what I mean? Like He's still there even in those times. And a cool thing as well though is the church. So the church, a lot of time people can say, when you say church, it's like, oh, that's a building that you go to. And when that's like, that's almost opposite. Like church is the people who go to church, the group of people. And part of church is meeting together. And so I know I've got all of these people I can reach out to and be like, I'm struggling today, can we just have a Zoom chat? Or like, we can still one-on-one go and walk. So maybe like, if I need to just part of my church family, just text someone and be like, can you meet me at the park in 20 minutes? I just need to get out and talk and process and pray with you. So I think those
really
some of those.
That's really good. And I love this whole sense. It's community, isn't it? So how do you still make community and make it happen? Beautiful. What about you guys? How does your faith impact you, or how's your faith into it?
It only clicked for me. Like Brightline always talk about there is hope. And like Daniel does the whole in the midst of the ups and downs in life. But I really felt that the first time round, because there were some days that I felt so low, man. And I was just like, and then I feel like sometimes there's this pressure as a Christian to constantly be praying and to constantly be reading the Bible, and that stuff is amazing. But I really felt that there were moments that thing of like being in a relationship with God, is there were times where He was just like, yeah, it's okay that you feel down today, and it is okay that you just are watching back-to-back Marvel films, and that's all that you have capacity for today. It's that knowing that God is with me in every single thing, like everything and anything that I'm feeling, like He is right there, right next to me, and He loves me regardless. Like that's been something that's been so incredible when the world, social media, is putting pressure on you to be like, this is the time, get fit, like go out, do all this exercise, write all these songs as a creative, like go do this. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't need to do any of that to get approval. Like God loves me just as I am, and that comfort is helpful. And knowing this time round, I'm not going to put as much pressure on myself because I know that God doesn't put pressure on me and he just loves me and he's with me.
That's
So
good.
that's been really helpful
That's really
for
good.
me.
That's really good. That's really good. What about you?
Yeah, I think a big thing that I've been trying to process is like, obviously with COVID, you see so much like just struggle and hardship and people just going through the worst things. And I know for me, like that's been really hard. That's what I find most upsetting, just thinking about some of these situations that people are going to be going through as we go back into lockdown too. And it's too much for me as a human being to kind of get my head around, and like I don't know what to do about it a lot of the time. It's hard to even talk about it because it's just so deep and it just seems so hard when you look around at what's happening. But having a relationship with God and like Jacob was saying, the Holy Spirit and Jesus, it's somebody there to process all that with, and it's not on us, like God's got it. And it says in the Bible like one day that Jesus will come back and like every tear will be gone, and like we as Christians believe that in heaven there's no suffering, no pain, and all of this stuff, and that really gives me hope that like this isn't in God's heart. He hates seeing so much pain and rubbish in the world, but that also means that he cares, right, and that we can talk to him about that kind of stuff. So when I just get a bit overwhelmed at like what I'm seeing around me, it's nice just to go to God and know that it breaks his heart too. Like he cares about that. He hates seeing like people hurting in the world, and we can just talk to him and pray with him about all that stuff. It's just really helpful, and it gives me a lot of hope, I think. There's a lot of pain around.
Clay?
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, in the Bible it talks about God giving us peace, which I think is just a massive thing, particularly in lockdown where mental health issues can really, come up quite a lot. But actually it's not saying that we have peace kind of when everything's fine and when we're not in lockdown and there's not this massive pandemic happening, but it's actually peace in the midst of those situations, and even in the most horrible, horrendous situation, actually we can find peace in Jesus because he gives that peace, which is insane and doesn't make any sense kind of normal life, do you know what I mean? But actually when Jesus comes in and says that, it's so true. We can have this peace even in the crazy circumstances that it is right now. So that's something really to hold on to.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm going to read this passage, but as I read this, I want you to think of one tip as we wrap stuff up. I want you to think of a tip that you can give to people that are watching this. And this is going back from what you just said, Clay. And in John 14:27 says this. Jesus is talking to his mates. And he says, I am leaving you a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give you is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. And this is just so reassuring. And we celebrate at Christmas, but one of the nicknames that Jesus has, one of the titles is the Prince of Peace. That in the midst of the storms, in the midst of everything, he brings peace. In the midst of the chaos, even the internal chaos that we find ourselves so many times in, Jesus brings peace. And it's a peace that nobody else can give. The world, which is everything else, can try to say, oh, do this, that, and the other, and you have true peace. But reality is true peace when it comes to Jesus. And I believe, and my prayer for you is that during this second lockdown, that you will be able to experience real peace, true peace, a peace that nobody else can give apart from Jesus, and that you will know the words, do not be troubled or afraid, because Jesus is with you and Jesus loves you and cares about you. So any tips, any one sentence, one word, do this will help you.
Yeah, for sure. Mine's like a double barrel one. Like one, I mean, maybe find a good book. You know what I mean? Like something to focus on. Like something you're like, oh, I got some free time and the world's feeling crazy. Just like get your head into a book and just read. But my second thing within, get your head into a book is that maybe you've made a decision to follow Jesus. Maybe you've received a higher Bible and maybe you've yet to open it yet. Like, why don't you find the time now to start reading that? Jump into, Matthew, like it's like the back end, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are the stories of Jesus here on earth, and they'll inspire you. I'm sure God will speak to you through them, and it'll be absolutely amazing. So why don't you try that? I think that'll be great.
Sammy?
I would go back off the back of what I was saying before. Like, don't put pressure on yourself. Just literally, just be intentional, be in the moment. This time like this will never come again in our world, potentially. And I think time is a gift that we're being given. So don't put too much pressure on yourself, just relax. Like, God loves you and you don't have to be what you're seeing on Instagram. Just be yourself and just be content with that.
Yeah, that's good. Clay?
I would say try praying. try just chatting to God. Yeah, if you don't believe in God, just give it a go. See what happens. Actually, we believe He does answer prayers.
Yeah.
And yeah, just chat to Him about how you're feeling. Just be able to process things with Him, and yeah, see where that takes you.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Gina.
Mine's very similar to Clay. If you stumbled across this video or this channel and you don't have a clue who Jesus is, or you feel like you don't know who Jesus is, just try it. Just give it a go. Just try speaking to God, because we believe hands down that He wants to speak to you. He wants to be a part of your life. So just give it a go and message one of us guys as the bands. Like, we're here for that. We want to chat through everything with you guys. We want to pray for you guys. So if you've never given it a go, just try praying. Just try reading the life of Jesus, like Jacob was saying. Try reading the Bible. Watch YouTube videos on stuff. I don't know, but just try it and just try and research for yourself and see what it's all about, because it's obviously a decision that we've made and has completely changed our whole lives and how we view this whole lockdown situation. So yeah.
It's good, it's good. And if you've not seen any of these videos, why don't you check out the rest of the videos? Just click the links below and you'll be able to find all of the different videos that we've done throughout this last, I don't know how many weeks we've been doing roundtable sessions, which is crazy. And if you do want a Bible, like Jacob was saying, click the link in the description. You'll be able to get a free Bible. We'll send it straight to you, no charges, all for free, and you can find out more about the story of Jesus. Don't put pressure on yourself, like Samuel was saying, and pray. Just chat with God. The same way we're chatting around this table, the same way we're chatting with you right now, you can chat with God wherever you are, whether it's in the park, whether it's at home, whether it's going for a run, whatever it is, you can chat with God and believe that actually God wants to chat with you and wants to know who you are and wants to build this friendship with you, because that's the real intention. We are not... What we're going to be doing next week is going to be slightly different, right?
Switch up.
Because obviously from tomorrow, lockdown, so we can't really be together like this. However, the roundtable sessions are still going to be happening next week, which is great. And we're kind of going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to be calling it Roundtable Sessions Lockdown Conversation.
Okay, cool.
Lockdown.
Lockdown conversations.
Nice. That's cool. You know we're gonna have to go with that now, because
Yeah, innit? That's an exclusive for you guys.
I'm sure he's sure now. But that's great.
What are we calling it? Yeah, we go with that. Yeah. Lockdown conversations, the roundtable sessions, lockdown conversations. So make sure you join us next week at 5 p.m. It's going to go down. Thank you so much for my lovely guests. I'm going to miss you. If you ever want to go for a walk with a dog, it might be.
I'm a meter away from you.
I'm a meter away from you. I am actually a minute away from you. So if you ever want to go for a walk, we got this lovely park near our house.
Yeah, we do.
Got two parks actually.
We've got two parks.
Park on top of each other, which is Inception Park. Anyway, that's like old person's conversation. We love you. Go on.
Take us out. Do
Okay.
the outro.
Love you. See you next time. Remember, there is hope. Don't give up.
Amazing.
See you when lockdown is over. Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.